All right, hi, welcome in for AFlow today. We are gonna go through a yoga flow. We'll get you moving and grooving, stretch out your muscles, connect a little bit more with your body, and you're gonna feel really good on the other side of this. I am Coach Laura, I coach here at Edina. I'm joined by Coach Kyle, who also coaches at Edina, and we also have Coach Matthew, who coaches at Uptown. So thank you for being here with us today. And we are actually gonna get started down in a tabletop position. So wherever your setup is, on a mat or a carpet or on your floor, let's come down onto the hands and the knees. Your shoulders are gonna be right above your wrists, back is flat, hips are right above the knees, and then start to find some movement here. So we're gonna go through cat and cow pose, but you can start to twist out the hips and the spine a little bit too. So what I want you to focus on is pressing your back as high as you can. You can roll out the shoulders and the chest, find some motion through your lumbar, and then sink down through the low back and open up your chest when you come in to cow. Yeah, just find a little bit of wiggle room here. Let it feel good. No set rep count. We're just starting to open up the posterior. Remember to breathe through this. It's really easy to hold your breath as you're moving from posture to posture. Good, and then from here, we're gonna take lateral puppy dog stretches. So walk your hands over to the right side of your mat. You're gonna press your hips towards the left and then lean all of your weight into the left palm and your left lat. You really wanna sink in. You should feel a really big stretch running down the whole left side of your back. Good, take it over to the other side. Walk the fingertips over to the left and then press all of your weight into the right palm and then sink towards the right hip. Walk your hands to center, full puppy dog stretch. See if we can get a little bit deeper here. So you're actively pressing your armpits and your chest down towards your mat. If your triceps need a little bit of an extra stretch, you have the option to bring your hands behind your head to the base of your neck and then push your elbows into the floor. So Kyle's going for that variation. Might feel really good through the back sides of your arms. Good. Bring your hands forward if they are at your neck. Shift your weight forward to your back in a tabletop and then step your feet back for a high plank. We're gonna hold here. So this is kind of like an extended tabletop. You're in a long line from head to heel. Keep lots of tension in the belly, squeeze the quads, engage your glutes, the back sides of your calves, and then just start to body circle side to side, rolling out the wrists, the ankles, finding a little bit of motion here. And find some stillness in your high plank. We're gonna take it into a low plank. So shift your weight forward, lower halfway, upward facing dog. We're gonna hang out in this up dog, so feel free to drop the thighs. I want you to actively roll your shoulders down your back, release the tension. Make sure your shoulders aren't anywhere near your ears. You wanna stay nice and open through the chest and the midline. You can rock your upper half side to side and kind of wiggle out through the legs, the hips. And then downward facing dog, press your hips up and back. First time here today, maybe first time of your whole day. Settle in, let this feel good. As you can see with Matthew and Kyle here, their hands are shoulder width distance apart, hips are piked up nice and high, and then feet are right beneath the hips. So you're basically in an upside down V, and I want you to think about always actively pressing your tailbone a little bit higher towards your ceiling. You can achieve this by putting a little bit more pressure into the hands and then trying to get the heels a little bit closer towards your mat or the floor. And they're wiggling around, so find as much movement as you need to here. You can bend the knees, you can move your hips side to side, rock out the back, roll out your ankles, kind of spill the heels side to side, whatever feels good for you. And then slowly walk your feet up behind the wrists. We're gonna curl all the way up to a mountain pose, slow, slow, slow. First time here. So as you unravel, reach your arms high overhead, extend through the shoulders, the elbows, the fingertips, nice big stretch. And then right hand grabs your left wrist, pull up and over, lean into the right side body, draw your left rib cage up and back. Take it over to the other side, give that right wrist a really big tug, create some space through the right ribs. Then rise back tall, take a baby back bend, goal post your arms. Lift back up, forward fold. At the bottom, heel toe your feet apart, find a ragdoll pose. Opposite hand is gonna grab your opposite elbow. You're actively trying to lengthen from the low back towards your shoulders and the crown of your head. So in this position, you shouldn't be looking up at your screens. You shouldn't be able to see me or Kyle or Matthew. You should be looking through your legs behind you, so you're totally relaxed through the back side of your neck. Yeah, you can rock your weight side to side, and a little bit of wiggle here. Good, and then wrap your arms behind your legs. You can wrap behind the thigh or the calf. Fold yourself into this stretch just a little bit tighter, starting to press open the hamstrings. Good, and then bring your hands forward, plant them, step your feet back for a high plank. I want you to rock open to a side plank towards the right. So right arm reaches high. You're gonna ground down through the left hand. Stack your shoulders. Make sure you're lifting up out of the obliques. You can either stack the feet on top of each other. You can do what Kyle and Matthew are doing, place one foot in front of the other. You can also drop down to that left knee if that feels better for you. Good, come back to your high plank. Flow through low plank. Upward facing dog, big stretch. Downward facing dog, hips go up and back. Nice job. Second time we're here. Actively think about sinking a little bit deeper into the heel. We're always trying to lengthen and stretch the body as much as we can. Good. Slowly walk your feet up behind the wrists. Slow, slow, slow. Unravel all the way back up. Mountain pose. Reaching just a little bit higher. Right hand grabs your left wrist, pull up and over. This time drop your right hand, walk it down towards your kneecap, arch your left fingertips a little bit closer to the other side. Rise back tall. Left hand grabs your right wrist, pull up and over, drop the left hand, walk it down. Rise back tall. Take a baby back bend, pull the elbows down towards your hips, squeeze your glutes to protect your back. Lift up, forward fold. Good. Plant your hands. Step your feet back for a high plank. We're going to take it to the left side. So open up for a side plank. Nice big open chest and pelvis. Reach the left hand as high as you can. Spread out your right fingertips to give yourself a bigger base. See if you can lift the hips just a little bit higher. You got it. High plank. Option to flow through low plank. Upward facing dog to downward facing dog. So we're gonna do a lot of up dog to down dog transitions. If this is something that you're working on, don't feel like you have to go through this every time. You can go from your high plank right to a down dog. You can always drop down to your thighs or your knees at any point, and you can always meet back in down dog if you kind of wait to catch up to where we are. Don't feel like you have to do just exactly what we're doing. One more time, see your hands. Hop, step, or float, rise all the way up. Mountain pose, reaching up nice and high. We're gonna take an open arm twist. Right hand draws back, left hand forward. See if you can dial your hips a little bit more towards the front so you're twisting just through the chest, not through your lower half. Good, I want you to send your right hand down behind your legs. Arch your left hand just a little bit higher. A little variation in this stretch. And then rise back tall. We're gonna take an open arm twist to the left. Left hand draws back, right hand forward. Find some length from fingertip to fingertip. Again, just twisting through your chest as much as you can. Fight to keep those hips facing forward. Good, and then gently let your left hand fall behind you. Right arm arches high. Good, mountain pose, one more time. Take a forward fold. Plant your hands. Step your feet back for a high plank. Option to flow through low plank. Upward facing dog to downward facing dog. Nice job. So we're gonna start to move through our sun bees. We're gonna start pretty simple, and then we're gonna add on each time. So we're gonna go through this 3 times on each side of the body, all right? So if you wanna wiggle things out, catch your breath, take a second, shake it around. Here we go, 3-legged down dog. Right toes lift high. Bend your knee, open up your hip. Take a nice big stretch through your glute, your hip flexor. Just let that foot feel really heavy. And then square off, wide runner's lunge. Right foot up outside your right wrist. I want you to start to hip grind. So move your body side to side. You can put some pressure on that right knee. You can take it into a little bit of a more intricate stretch like Kyle's going for here. Whatever your body is telling you that you need to do, I want you to do whatever feels best for you to get your hips as open as you can. You can always drop the left knee down onto the floor too. That's where we're gonna head next. Good, so tap your left knee down. We're gonna take this into a wide-legged half splits. Pull your hips back, straighten out your right leg, flex your right heel up towards you, and then send your chest out over the right thigh. We wanna make sure we're not sitting back on that left heel. You're trying to elevate your upper half to get closer to your toes. Good, shift your weight forward. Heel to the right foot in between your hands, low lunge. Easy twist, right arm reaches high. Good, you're gonna ground onto the left hand and then use your abs to lift. Crescent lunge, rise up. Arms come high overhead. You're in a strong line, fingertip to shoulder to hip, front knee over front ankle, back leg is strong and straight. Good, launching off for an airplane pose. So you're gonna float the left toes. You can take a slight athletic bend through that right knee. Pull your hands back towards your hips. Pinch your shoulder blades together. Stay broad through the chest. standing splits. Hands fall to frame that right foot. Send your left heel back. This is a tough one. Mobility and flexibility really come into play in this position. So if this is something you are working on, don't worry about how high that foot can go. I want you to think about more bringing the crown of your head closer to your standing foot. Good, float down for a low lunge. Good, left toes touch down. We've had a hard day of workouts here, so this feels good and bad probably. Step back for a high plank. Option to flow through low plank. Upward facing dog to downward facing dog. Nice job, you guys. Remember, down dog is where you reset. It's where you catch your breath. It's where you come back into your body. So if you find that you're holding your breath in a lot of these positions, big inhales and exhales when we come back to down dog. Maybe like down dog, left toes lift high. Good, bend your knee, open up your hip. Drop that heel towards your low back. Draw some circles on the ceiling, okay? We wanna make sure we're twisting through the pelvis rather than your whole torso. Wide runner's lunge, left foot up outside your left wrist. Start to hip grind here. So just wiggle it around, whatever feels good in your body, in your hips. Please take that here. There's no right or wrong in this. It's really just a stretch more so than a posture, okay? You can press out on that left thigh or your knee. You can always drop the back knee down. Grimacing is encouraged. Probably feels tight. If you're watching facial expressions here, we're with you. Good, tuck the right knee down, wide-legged half splits on this side. So you're gonna straighten out the left leg as much as you can. It really does help to flex your left toes and put a little bit of weight into the heel and then send your chest down over the left thigh. Good, rock your weight forward. Low lunge, heel toe your left foot in between your hands. You're gonna lift the right knee. Easy twist, open up to the left side. Left arm reaches high. Stack the shoulders. See if you can draw the left hand a little bit further in line with the left shoulder. Use your abs to lift. Crescent lunge, sweep all the way up. Good, find your balance. It's okay to be a little bit wider through the hips here. It's gonna help you center when we come to airplane pose. So make sure your weight is on the knife edge of your left foot. Arms are locked and strong overhead. Once you're ready, let's send it into airplane pose on this left side. So right heel floats. You're gonna use the right glute to keep that foot elevated. Remember, soft athletic bend through the left knee if that helps you. I also want you to make sure that your right hip isn't splaying open towards the side. Both hips should be facing the floor. Standing splits, hands fall to frame the left foot. This side might feel more or less balanced than the other, and that's totally okay. That's just kind of how the body works. So if you want to start playing around with this, as you can see, Matthew's kind of taking a grab on his calf. Kyle's going behind the knee. Maybe you're just going to play around with floating one fingertip or two. Challenge yourself a little bit here. Good, they're ready to come out. Low lunge. Right toes tap the floor, hands plant. Step back for a high plank. Good, option to flow through low plank, upward facing dog to downward facing dog. Nice job, you guys. Take a second, breathe, pedal it out, come back into your breath. All right, so we're gonna add on second sun beat, okay? So make sure you're listening. Three-legged down dog, right toes lift high, low lunge, step your foot in between your hands. Easy twist, right arm reaches high. This time, revolve crescent. You're gonna use your abs to lift. So we're kind of adding on to that open arm twist we took to start. I want you to stay low in the front knee, pin your thighs together, reach your hands a little bit further apart. Crescent lunge, both arms come forward. Launch off for an airplane pose. You've been here before. If you want to take this with a chest expansion and interlace your hands behind your back, that might feel really good for your lats and your traps. Good, one-legged mountain pose. Your left knee is gonna swing high with you. I want you to extend the left leg out in front. Flex your toes. This is one of those crazy hard things and I don't know why. All you're doing is lifting your leg. Good, hang on for 3, 2, 1. We're gonna float back, find a crescent lunge. Rebend your right knee. This time, open your body up for warrior 2. Gently guide that right knee a little bit further back so that your hips stay nice and open. Good, extended side angle, come forward and down. You can always place your right elbow on your right thigh if that option feels a little bit better for you, a little bit more stable. And then open yourself up for a big star pose. Good, I want you to point your toes forward. Take this into a wide forward fold. If you want to heel toe your feet a little bit further apart for a bigger stretch inside your legs, go for it. And then just play around here. So you can walk the hands forward like Matthew's doing. You can sway side to side like Kyle is doing. I always like the option too of wrapping my arms behind my legs to get a little bit tighter into this stretch. It's really whatever is going to feel best for you. Good. Walk your hands back towards center. Slowly rise up. Star pose. Welcome back, gents. Warrior 2. Rebend the right knee. Reverse your warrior. Big stretch to the right side body. Low lunge. Hands frame your right foot. Step back high plank. Option to flow through low plank. Upward facing dog to downward facing dog. Let's take a little bit of respite in between here. So we're halfway through these sun bees. I want you to wiggle it around. Let your hips fall heavy side to side. Find some hang time there, releasing the back. Big lifts and lowers of the knees, the ankles. Good, all right, three-legged down dog. Left toes lift. Low lunge, left foot in between the hands. Easy twist, left arm reaches high. Good, so remember you're gonna use your abs, your big, strong, heavy movers through the legs to lift, revolve, crescent, rise. Left hand back, right hand forward. Stay low through the left knee, squeeze your thighs together. Good, crescent lunge, arms come high. Airplane pose, launch off. Try not to grip into the left toes. That might cause a little bit of pain running up the leg. See if you can just relax the foot, keep your weight more towards the knife edge. Good, one-legged mountain pose. Right knee's gonna lift with you. Extend your right leg long in front. Flex your foot, okay? Just like that hamstring stretch that we did to start, I want you to flex the heel as hard as you can. See if you can get your foot up towards your hip. This one's hard. A little bit of wobbling, a little bit of shaking, that's totally okay. Good, float back for crescent lunge. Tap the right toes down, arms come high. Open yourself up, warrior 2. Good, this is a really strong position. It's hard to hold here. I want you to think about sinking a little bit deeper through that leading leg. Extend your hands a little bit further apart. Extended side angle, come forward and down. Good, keep the shoulders stacked. Remember, you always have the option to rest your left elbow on the left thigh. Open your body up for a big star pose. Take another wide forward fold. Play around with this as much as you need to here, okay? So you can walk the hands side to side, maybe dip the hips around, get a little bit of wiggle room through the insides of your legs, your back. It's really whatever feels good for you here. Just trying to get a big stretch so we can even out on both sides. We're gonna hang out here for a bit. If you've been doing the A20s this week or any week really, this probably feels good. We do a lot of work through the legs, a lot of explosive movement, so it's really good to take a long time to come back into your muscles. Good, if your hands are out forward, let's walk them back to center and then lift back up for a star pose. Good, warrior 2, rebend your left knee. Reverse your warrior, big reach up and back. Low lunge, pinning your hands down to frame the left foot, step back high plank, option to flow through low plank. Upward facing dog to downward facing dog. All right, once more through these sun bees, we're gonna add on just a little bit more here. Three-legged down dog, right toes lift high. Right knee to right tricep, hold. Good, send it over to the left and then kick through for a fallen warrior. So you're gonna shoot your your right foot, all the way over to that left side. Left arm's gonna reach high, option to elevate this foot. Nice, guys, kick it back, three-legged down dog, low lunge, right foot comes in between the hands. Easy twist, right arm high. Revolve crescent to lift. See if you can arch that right hand just a little bit further back, draw your right shoulder away. Crescent lunge, arms come forward. Airplane pose, launch off. You've been here before, last time on this right side. Make this solid. Your body's kind of in a T here. So what we wanna make sure is that that left hip is staying dialed down towards the floor. Keep actively sinking your chest to get just a little bit more parallel. Nice, you got it. One-legged mountain pose, left knee lifts. This time relax for a figure 4. So we're not gonna extend, we're gonna take a stretch. Cross your left ankle over the right thigh, drop the hips down. Keep your weight shifted in the right heel. Wobbling's okay. It's okay if you fall out. Good, slowly press back up. One-legged mountain pose. Float your left foot back. Let's find a crescent lunge. You're gonna rebend the right knee. Open your body up for warrior 2. Extended side angle, forward and down. Let's take a half or a full bind. So that top hand is gonna come behind your back. You're gonna hook your right arm underneath your right thigh, meet your fingers to touch, clasp them together, and then drive your right elbow inside the right knee. I want you to sink the hips. If you're just going for a half bind, all you're gonna do is bring that left hand behind your back, and then I want you to press your left shoulder a little bit further up. This is a tough one, you guys. Breathe, hang on to it. Good, release, reverse your warrior. Whoo! A lot of grumbles here from the gallery. Sweep it around for a low lunge. Hands from your right foot, step back, high plank. Option to flow through low plank, upward facing dog to downward facing dog. We've got one more side, and then we'll get you down to the floor. Don't worry, thanks for hanging with us. Three-legged down dog, left toes lift high, left knee to left tricep, hold. Twist it over to the right, kick through fallen warrior, tip your weight towards that left hand, right arm reaches high. Try to float this foot, challenge your balance here. Good, flip it around, three-legged down dog. Low lunge, left foot swings in between the hands. Easy twist, left arm high. Good, use your core, revolve crescent, rise. Left hand back, right hand forward, stay low in this knee. Last time here. Crescent lunge, arms come high. Airplane pose, float your right toes. Remember, play around with your variations here. You can interlace the hands behind your back for a bigger stretch. If you're gonna go for that, I want you to lift them off your hips. One-legged mountain pose, right knee lifts high. Figure 4. Cross your right ankle over your left knee, sink the hips. Feel free to play around in this stretch too. This is another one with a lot of options. It's not an exact, so you can stay upright through the chest. You can reach for the floor. You can reach your arms out in front of you, behind you, whatever feels good for you, and it's gonna help you deepen this stretch through your hips. Good, one-legged mountain pose. We're gonna lift back up. Crescent lunge, float down. Open yourself up, warrior 2. Extended side angle, shift your weight forward and down, slide that bottom hand, and then half or full bind. You might find that one side has a little bit more flexibility and mobility than the other. So if that right side was almost there and just a little bit tight, let's see if we can go for it on the left. I want you to drive your left elbow inside the left knee and then keep pressing your left knee closer to the front of your mat. Good, hanging on for 3, 2, 1. Reverse your warrior, sweep up and back. Nice job, everybody. Low lunge, hands from your left foot. Step back for a high plank. Option to flow through low plank. Upward facing dog, let's hang out here. Feel free to drop the thighs, relax. Take some barrel rolls through the head, the neck. Good, downward facing dog. Hips go up and back. Nice job, you guys, you made it. We're almost on the other side. We're gonna slow things down. Get you stretched a little bit further, get you cooled off. Three-legged down dog. Right toes lift high, bend your knee, open up your hip. Let's swing through for a half pigeon. Right foot comes underneath the left wrist. You're gonna rest your right shin as close as you can onto your mat, and you can either stay upright or you can gently fold over the right thigh, whatever feels good for you. If you're down on the ground, I want you to relax the shoulders. It's really easy to hold tension here and kind of prop yourself up onto the elbows. Just try to relax a little bit further, sink in. If this stretch does not feel good for your hips, you can always take a figure 4 from your back. And if you're gonna do that, all I'm gonna need you to do is flip over onto your back, cross one ankle over one thigh, loop your hands underneath your leg, and then squeeze your knee up towards you. This is one of those postures where we could hang out all day if we wanted to, if we needed to. Kyle's a fan. But we don't have time for that. So inch your hands back towards your hips. We're gonna press back for a downward facing dog. Pedal things out, wiggle it around. Take a three-legged down dog. Left toes lift high. Bend your knee, open up your hip. We'll swing through for half pigeon on this side. Sink your hips, find that comfy spot, shifting your weight towards the left glute. And then if you're going for it, you can fold over the left shin. You can also stay upright if that feels good for you. If you're taking this posture from your back, just switch legs. Gently prop yourself back up. Press your body back for downward facing dog. Last time here. Let this stretch feel good. Whatever you need to do, whatever your body's telling you. And come down onto your knees. Extended child's pose. Big toes touch. Push your knees out as wide as you can. You're going to press your hips back towards your heels and then walk the hands as far forward as you can. That you're trying to stretch your whole body from end to end. You can stay at center like this if that feels good for you. You can also walk your hands side to side if you want a bigger stretch through your back. And then prop your weight forward. We're just going to swing our legs around and find a seat. And then once you're there, we're going to take a seated twist. So we're going to start with your shoulders above your hips. I want you to cross your right foot outside of your left ankle. Yep. No. Left knee. Knees are higher than ankles typically. I know, I was looking at your legs. Typically. All right, reach your left arm high, and then you're going to tuck your left elbow outside of the right knee. Place your right hand behind your right hip, and then try to look behind you. Put equal pressure, elbow to knee, knee to elbow. You should feel a really big stretch running down your right glute. Thank you for hanging with me through that moment of confusion. I was staring at Kyle's knee and wondering why his foot wasn't there. Good, unravel. We're gonna switch sides. So right leg relaxes, tuck your left foot outside of the right knee, not ankle. Reach your right arm high, and then drop your right elbow outside of the left knee. Remember, equal pressure, elbow to knee, knee to elbow, and then try to look behind you. Good, unhook, unravel. Let's make our way onto our backs, one vertebrae at a time. Once you're down, bring both knees up to your chest. We're gonna take one more twist here. So you can start to massage out your spine, and then let both knees fall heavy over to the right. So you're just gonna tip them both the same way. Drop both of your arms out to a T. Try to keep the shoulders connected. Shift your weight back onto your spine. Let both of your knees fall heavy over to the left. Then rock onto your back one last time. We're gonna lift for happy baby pose. Find the inside arches of your feet. You can massage out your spine. You can open up your legs, bend or straighten them. You can hang out still if that's what you need. And wrap your arms around your shins, pull your forehead in close, give yourself a hug, a squeeze, a thank you. Take one more big breath in. And then as you breathe out, let your legs fall heavy, arms relax by your sides, palms face upward, melt your body into your space, and take a minute here just for you. Back into your body, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, roll out your wrists by your sides. Reach your arms up and overhead. Take a long body stretch. Make yourself as tall as you can. And once you're ready, keeping your eyes closed, make your way up to a seat. We will finish this class like we do every single class at Alchemy 365 with 3 big breaths. First breath, fill up, take it in. And a big open mouth exhale, side out. Second breath, a little bit bigger, fill up. Big exhale out. Third breath, biggest breath of your whole day, fill all the way up. Biggest exhale out, let it go. Blink your eyes open. Thank you for flowing with us. Awesome, awesome job, you guys. Keep tuning in, keep taking class. This is always a good way to start or end your week, kind of reset, refocus. Big thank you to Matthew and Kyle for joining me. I'm Coach Laura, and we'll see you next time.